Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. And it's time again. We are back with another new makeup nonsense bingo. Wow wow wow. You know, it's the favorite thing to film and the least favorite thing to edit. Back today with new makeup nonsense bingo, your gift to start the week. This is a video that I do in collaboration with a couple of dear friends. So first of all, it started with myself and Teresa is Dead, and then Audra at Home and Lacey of Spooky Lips and Fat Hips have joined us. I will have all of their videos linked in the description box, and I definitely recommend you to go check them out. You are here from Teresa or Audra or Lacey's channels, please say hi in the comments. I would love to welcome you and, introduce you to the Han fam, which is a phrase that some people use that I'm not comfortable using, but we used it. Okay. I'm back again with another bottle of bubbly. Different one this time, but more bubbly. And why is there bubbly? Well, if you're new here, New Makeup Nonsense Bingo is 1 part Will I Buy It, 1 part anti-haul, 1 part bingo game, and 1 part drinking game. And it is also an open video concept where anyone that wants to make a video can play the game. We have bingo cards that are linked in the description box along with a community playlist and hashtags. So if you want to do all those things, you can go for it. And community playlist, just DM me on a social media and I can add you. Or if anyone ever wants to tell me how to actually make a YouTube playlist that people can add themselves to, that's the kind of DM I would love to get. As per the routine lately, I'm going to open this sucker and show you what we might be talking about today, along with, my bingo card. All that, Ow. Ow. So sometimes this happens, and I cannot open a cork. It takes so long. To say that sometimes I struggle to get the corks out of the bottles, and the cork decided to eject itself. So today we have a cava, and it's delicious, if anyone's curious as to what I'm drinking. I also have some Diet Coke because I'm trash. Now that we have all experienced the group heart attack, and you've seen the possible products that are up to talk about tonight, and you've also seen my bingo card, I'm gonna have another drink and get started. Let's see where we're gonna start tonight. Oh, no. It's already time for more booze. And that is because we have this palette from Tarte. Sugar Rush by Tarte. I had not read this description before. Wow. Positive vibes only. Balance your chakra with our new limited edition Sugar Rush Positive Energy Vegan Eyeshadow Palette. delay for better, longer, truer wear, and antioxidant-rich vitamin E. Diamond powder for multi-dimensional shine. First of all, how are you going to balance your chakra throughout your life if you're basing it off of a limited edition palette? Wow! So I was appalled by this palette when I just saw it because of the different pan sizes and layout and empty space in the palette. Whew, deep breath. Okay. So I was already like destined to hate it. But that description. Okay. Look, you are not going to balance your chakra with capitalism. And no matter how hard they try to spin this into something special, this is a basic as fuck neutral palette, which is Tarte's specialty. So we're just gonna call it that and go. Just the punches keep coming. I've barely consumed any alcohol. I'm just giggly because the releases this time around, okay, let's just talk about the next one rather than do what I'm doing. We have a new release from Goss makeup artist, and this is the Radiance Boosting Face Palettes, and there are 3 duos, 2 tones in each compact. One Radiance Boosting Bronzer designed to give a sun-kissed glow to the skin. Give skin that just been kissed effect. Not matte, not shimmery, leave skin glistening. First of all, when I think of just been kissed, I think of like a flush that's like a pinky already or embarrassed orgasm flush. But okay, sure. And then the second color in the palette is a true tone face sculpture. A matte designed to carve out a cheekbone, chisel a jaw, shape a nose, deepen an eye socket with cool tones that truly add shadow for the areas that you want. Coming soon, supposedly 16 grams of product, which, whatever, fuck off with that shit. Nobody cares. Wayne Goss, you are selling on Beautylist. You are marketing to regular customers while trying to present yourself as a makeup artist brand. Nobody gives a fuck how much product is in your palettes or your duos. And then there's this the way they are photographed. I think somebody definitely, it wasn't an original thought for me, but somebody compared it to Escher, MC Escher, where it just makes your brain go like, what's happening here? That's what this picture did for me. But the other part of it is the actual color range, and I'm just saying from photos. Look, I will stand by this. If your product is not properly represented in your marketing photos, that is your fault. That is your downfall. I will judge the fuck out of these products because guess what? You're not available in stores. No one's going in stores. Don't go in stores. Oh, I was in a Sephora and just testers out. Anyway, that horror story aside, I'm going to use your marketing photos as a way to judge you. And if you don't like that, you should get better marketing photos. This just looks like a terrible range. And I think it's just that consistently what we saw with the blush highlight duos and with this release, you're making yourself abundantly clear as to who you care about and who you do not, Wayne Goss. And that's fine. That's your choice. Either way, it's not a release for me. Honestly, like, beyond my critical bitch ways, it's just not, I just don't care about bronzer and contour. I just don't. But it still feels like a complexion release with a terrible shade range. So I'm going to do something that y'all might be a little surprised to hear from me. I'm going to compliment Colourpop. Yes. EmilyHanhan is complimenting Colourpop, Color Flop, Color Stop. I think that the Lizzie Mcguire palette and the Limoncello palette are nice looking palettes. I am not actually going to buy either of those because I have beaten the dead horse of talking about my general distaste for the Colourpop formulas. But first of all, the Limoncello Collection, my one criticism is I felt like this was the perfect time for Colourpop to actually like reintroduce the market to yellow blushes. So, you know, NYX has actually done yellow blushes. Lethal has done them. Ritual Defee has a yellow cream blush. But like, I think it's the aesthetics of it all. Hear me out. If they had released a round, so think about their heart blushes. They're heart shaped and they have like a soft curve to them. If they had released a round blush compact where the compact itself had that soft curve edge, looked like a slice of lemon, and then had like even 2 or 3 versions of yellow blushes for, you know, a variety of skin tones. I don't know why the idea is so like burned into my brain, but I'm like, but I want people to do that because like yellow blush is really fun. Anyway, I'm very stuck on that because I actually think that the packaging that they did for their palette, like the graphic design is pretty, and it's very much hitting all of our Wanderlust like veins. Do I actually want a yellowy neutral palette with a pop of blue, or do I actually want to be in an Italian villa? That's hard to say. In an Italian villa, drinking wine and eating handmade pasta. Like, that's what I want. I don't actually want this palette, but not bad. And the other collection is this Lizzie Mcguire collection. Now, this has like body glitters and lip glosses. It very much feels like a young, like kids makeup, but it kind of seems to work with the aesthetic. See, I'm too old for Lizzie Mcguire. I didn't get into it, but the like artwork I've seen for it, it actually seems like a decent choice. And the colors, while they are reminiscent to a lot of other palettes that Colourpop has released, I actually really, like, I like this color story because they gave me more of the, like, actual green, pinky, peachy, purple kind of color story that I feel like a lot of their other palettes in the last year have been trying to do, whereas this one actually does it without so many of the browns and neutrals to kind of drag it down. So here I am complimenting Colourpop, saying, okay, I see you. Okay. So, over the last like month, with the addition of Audra and of Lacey as like regular collaborators, we've revamped our bingo card, and we added a square on there that's called I Already Bought It, because makeup goblins. We're all makeup goblins with different levels of goblin behavior. No judgment zone ever. And by the way, your friends should never judge you either. No shame in friend spaces. But anyway, that space on the cart, I've always been one of those bitches that's been like, motherfucker, I already bought it. I already have the product. And I can finally brag. So we have the Easy Drop Blurring Skin Tint from Venti, which I own. I picked up shade number 3, and I have it on my skin today. If I have my shit together, I might already have a video about this up on my channel when you're watching this right now, which I will link up here. But so this is I feel like this is a highly anticipated release from Fenty, even though it kind of snuck up on us. For me, from the moment that Fenty kind of hit the market, I was like, okay, but I want like a skin tint. I want something that's lighter weight. So it's $29.50. It delivers an instantly smooth and blurred complexion in a few drops for quick everyday coverage. There are 25 shades. I will say the initial release photo was a little fucking weird because they put like 55 bottles in that picture, but there's only 25 colors. Anyway, it's like a squeezy tube, and according to Trend Mood, instant blurring skin tint, buildable light to medium long wear coverage with quick blur complex for a hydrating diffused effect, smooth texture that layers well with primer and skincare, applies well with finger or brush, humidity, sweat, and transfer resistant formula. And my first impressions are that I do enjoy it. Anyway, here's to having new makeup. Okay, somebody needs to have an intervention with NYX. How dare they do a collab with Tetris and release this trash? So there is this jumbo shadow palette, 80 eyeshadows for $45. And then there are lip kits and liner kits. The lip kits and the liners, it's the same product with new Tetris boxes that you're gonna fucking throw away. This makes me very mad. Because yes, I fucking love Tetris. I still love it. I liked it as a kid. I will forever love it. If you've never seen the brand King, Q-I-N-G, beauty show up in like Trend Mood or other Instagram accounts like that, they do a lot of these really big palettes. So I see in the packaging, I feel like they're trying to like make it look like, oh, game on, and like make little Tetris shape pieces in the palette to create looks. The only way I would permit this as like a decent use of concept is if those blocks were all actually square. But they're not. They're rectangles. Tetris blocks are not rectangles. They are motherfucking squares. So anyway, this is trash. And I will never give NYX $45 for an eyeshadow palette. Tetris, who is a brand or whatever not known for their makeup, has done a couple of collaborations in the makeup world at this point, and none of them would actually make us gaming makeup lover people happy. So good job continuing the streak, NYX. Let's talk some indie makeup. So Clarity Cosmetics, which I often get confused with Carity Cosmetics, has released a new palette. It's on pre-order, and I think it's called the So Mermazing palette. It's 10 pans, and it looks like it's half and half matte and shimmer. So this kind of color story taps into something that I see trending with other releases that are in our collection of things to talk about today. And that is this like grungy pastel trend thing that's happening for the spring, because this So Amazing palette to me has like, some of the mattes are very pastel, even some of the shimmers like pastel, but then some of the mattes and some of the shimmers have a more grungy kind of effect to them. This looks like a really pretty palette. The shimmers look really pretty. Here's the thing is that I know myself. I really don't reach for palettes very often. So if this was a palette that was magnetized, that I could take them out and use them as singles, I would probably like instantly think about it. I would probably instantly buy it. Because it's a palette and I understand the way I use my makeup, even though the video of the shimmers is very, very pretty, I want to see reviews. I want to see people use it, especially people that have other indie singles, because that can be a big help. Where I just hear somebody say like, oh yeah, but these remind me of Davina singles I have, or Cleona, or Glam Shop, or other brands. Like, even if I haven't bought those other brands, even if I don't own those other singles, if you tell me it reminds me of some singles, I might end up buying the singles. So anyway, it's just interesting to see this like grungy pastel kind of thing happening, where I think it actually makes pastels more wearable or approachable for a wider variety of skin tones, because they're not all so white based and so bright or pale. So anyway, I kind of want to call some of these shimmers multichromes. Like, I don't know if they're actually multichromes, but I feel like they look like colors that a brand like Cleona have called multichromes before. So I'm gonna call this all the multichromes, because it's really the first time in a long time that the shimmers in a palette have actually looked up to par to what I'm looking for in a composed palette. Do y'all know the idea of like fantasy me? This is something I think Hannah Louise Poston is the first person that introduced me to it. Anytime I see Glow Recipe skincare, I'm always like, Fantasy Me would buy the fuck out of that. Because usually Fantasy Me is much richer than I actually am. And the same goes for this. So there is a new addition to the Glow Recipe Avocado family. It's the Avocado Ceramide Recovery Serum. And it's supposed to target dehydration, irritation, redness, and sensitivity. It's a milky texture, cocoon sensitized skin, and a protective layer of actives. The thing is that everything that Glow Recipe does aesthetically, just, it pleases me. It really does. It's the colors. It's the unique packaging for all the different products. It just, rich fantasy me would just be like, I'm gonna buy everything. If the opportunity to just like supermarket sweep the entire Glow Recipe skincare section arose, I would fucking take that opportunity. This is even more skincare because everyone is doing skincare, and that's just the thing. But like, it's also kind of put it on my face. But I'm going to call it skincare. But I would also put it on my face, because why not? Ceramides, I don't know, actives, whatever. You said words that make me go, yes, I want it. Okay, so it's like a double header of shocking behavior. I have like a small, tiny compliment for Morphe tonight. So Morphe has a new collection. It's a collaboration with Avani. And there's some bronzers and some lip gloss kits and lip duos. So there's this palette they've released. It's colorful, warm tones, cool tones, some pressed glitter. The thing that I actually think is pretty smart, theoretically, is that the bottom 2 rows in that palette are cake liners. They are water activated liners. So like the liners that you will see being sold in like separate containers, either round or square, or some brands have been doing cake liner palettes as well. Midas does them, Glisten, and I think Glam Vice, and a bunch of the brands that were already doing the water activated liners have been doing the palettes. I would have totally preferred to see them do a separate water activated liner palette, because I do wonder if the shadows flying out and into the liners would create issues over time. But I don't hate it. And I actually think that the colors that they put together for the little water activated section are pretty cute. Like, they did some pastels and some brights and some basic. So it's not for me, but like, I also don't hate it. I just think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting to see the water activated liner thing come to like mainstream. And for a brand like Morphe to be the first one to do it, to my knowledge. Yeah, that's fucking weird. But it's also an oversized Morphe palette, so there's that too. Okay. Dominique Cosmetics has released the Now or Never collection, inspired by strong women who take risks, follow their dreams, and make history. There are 2 lip glosses in strawberry lemonade and peach tea. And then there is a 6-pan palette with a pressed glitter, 1 silky pearl finish, and 4 mattes. Ooh, that arrangement of textures is like the last I would ever want. But that's me. Now, beyond the whole pressed glitter in a palette, because I actually don't hate it in a little 6-pan, because I feel like it's a small size. It's not like getting a 12-pan where there's 1 pressed glitter or 2 pressed glitters and you're like, oh fuck, I wanted the other 10 or 11 shades, but not those 2. I would have preferred to see like another more shimmery shimmer to kind of be able to not just reach for the pressed glitter. But I think it's I know for me, the thing about this release that is just making me feel things that are not positive. I saw these names before and I was like, we're not doing that in 2021. We are not doing this in 2021. And what is this, you ask? It's naming colors like Self-Made, Boss Babe, Empire, Really Pretty, thank you for your Mean Girls reference, Rinna, and Powerful Bitch. We don't, again, circling back to something at the beginning of the video. Capitalism is not going to save sexism. Capitalism is not going to save inequality in pay. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I think in general, boss babe is such a fucking toxic phrase that demeans the actual power that somebody has when they are a boss or a manager and actually in a position of power, whether or not they're a man or a woman or non-binary or agender or whatever. Like, sorry. Boss babe, and not sorry. Boss babe is a fucking terrible word, and it's 2021. You should not be using motherfucking boss babe in your makeup palette. Totally just dampen the mood, I'm sure. But I'm just gonna say, like, definitely not for me. Also, there is something about it. I think it's because of the pressed glitter and the 6-pan, and because I haven't seen it's because I haven't seen Dominique Cosmetics actually do a 6-pan before, this very specific cliche feminism and capitalism release, that seeing this first release be this like monochromatic with pressed glitter 6-pan, heavy copycat vibes on Juvia's Place. Just, Juvia's Place is not the first to do 6-pans. It's not the first to do monochromatic palettes, but there is something about this combo where I'm just like, Dominique Cosmetics, you have not only picked a theme that, in my opinion, has lowered your stance in my makeup world, but you've created an aesthetic that feels like it's a knockoff of Juvia's Place, but you're charging more money. Yeah, that's it for this release. But I'm kind of fucking stunned because I hit bingo. I hit bingo and I still have like half a bottle of wine. What is life? I am not mad about it. It's just a weird feeling. I just feel really weird about the whole like using feminism or using the fight for actual equality in pay as a marketing tool. But again, that's kind of what capitalism does. It ruins everything for everyone. I hope you enjoyed this new makeup nonsense bingo. If there was anything that I shit talked that you are interested in, let me know in the comments, because hearing your perspective on like why you actually want something can be helpful. It can help shake me from my just like meh 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 grumpy bitch mood. And then sometimes y'all are just like, oh no, I don't want that either. No, burn it with fire, burn it. That can also help me realize like, okay, I wasn't that far off. Cool. If you are here from Lacey or Teresa or Audra, let me know in the comments. Cheers to everyone, whether you're watching in the morning or the evening or at lunchtime or whenever. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you over here. I would also love to have you over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Nomnivorous on both platforms. And I also have a Patreon and a YouTube membership and other ways to support me if you are feeling so inspired. Don't forget, take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it and you deserve that. Bye, friends.